Hey everyone, I'm Austin,
And I am Mitch.
and this is Super Platinum Achievement and Xbox Fanboys. This one's gonna sting. But please stick around and
Sorry,
please
not
watch.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry, but please watch the whole video before you decide to blow up our comment section. So first off, if you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there. We really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. If you like the video, most of you probably won't. Give us a big thumbs up, please.
Compared to some of our other videos, they've done really, really well. And obviously, there's some of you that hate them, but
Yeah.
and we try not to sound like fanboys, but obviously, y'all are gonna say we are. Whatever.
So yes, last thing, if you feel like you need to, share it to your friends, please.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna get into it.
Xbox sucks.
Xbox sucks, at least right now. I don't want
say
to.
it.
I don't want to say they've always sucked. I don't want to say they're gonna always will suck in the future. But right now, they suck. And there's definitely several reasons why they suck.
We've got so many issues with them. Number one being the thing we've talked about for the last decade, and that's Xbox has no games.
Zero. So
And the
2022.
games they have come out with have not been good.
Yeah, I think 2022 has probably been one of the driest, worst years for gaming for Xbox.
Yeah.
There have been no good exclusives, and the ones that have come out, like you've played a couple, boring, not good.
Yeah. And
Just
apparently
don't-
some people like them. This is definitely subjective, but
Yes.
like I'm going to say the ones I played. So I have an Xbox. I have supported Xbox.
Right there.
I've enjoyed Xbox games. I have Game Pass. He had Game Pass. I played Scorn. Was really excited for that game. Got very bored very quickly. Obviously, some people will disagree with me. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you thought it was too hard, too much puzzle. No, I grew up playing Zelda games and puzzle games. I love those type of games. I got bored because there's nothing going on. You're in this weird world, and I could go on about the whole game itself. I didn't like it. I thought it sucked. They came out with a game called Pentiment. I can't judge that one fairly because I haven't played it, but it didn't look appealing to me. And then they have a timed exclusive with High on Life, which apparently that game is great, but it's also not theirs. It's timed, and it's just on Game Pass. So for Game Pass alone, games I would have purchased versus games I got for Game Pass, it ended up not saving me any money. I could have just turned around and bought the games on whatever other console I wanted to and paid the same as I've been paying for Game Pass. So the only plus I was getting from that is getting to maybe try a couple games if I wanted to. Yeah. They didn't come out with anything great, and like I said, the games they came out with last year, aside from Forza, good racing game, Halo was not good. It was overpromised and underdelivered is what they did on that one. They said they were going to have all these things. They said they were going to have Forge. They said they were going to have split-screen co-op. Never happened.
And they still don't have it.
They flat out said they're not going to have
Yeah.
split-screen co-op now, which was just a bold-faced lie. They promised it and then never delivered. It's pretty much dead game now. Hardly anybody is playing online.
There's more people. This was a stat maybe a month or so ago. There were more people playing Battlefield 2042, which we don't even get in that game, but its launch was disastrous.
Yeah.
But there's more people playing that than Halo Infinite online. So yeah, it's like this last year of 2022 was promised to be a huge year, and especially like even 2021 was supposed to be promised to be a huge year for Xbox, and they just haven't delivered. You know, all they had to say is, guys, we're sorry. Development on games is taking longer than we thought. You know, whatever stuff like that. No, they're going out and blaming. They're blaming Sony mainly for it. So obviously Sony is against them trying to purchase Activision, and their response to that is Sony wants to grow by making Xbox smaller, which to me in my head is insane.
Backwards from what they're trying to do.
How a company, first off, can blame another company for why they're doing bad.
Yeah.
So they're getting mad that they're not able to buy their studios to make games instead of just using the studios they already own, which they bought a lot already, to make those games. And then so that they're crying about that. Then they say, Xbox says Sony has way more exclusive games in the works, so this deal is fair. Xbox could have as many, if not more, games in development because they have more studios in their umbrella of
And more money, by far.
And so why is Sony beating them? It's because Sony is just
They're just better at what they do.
they're making games and just keeping quiet and releasing great games. 2020 for Sony was a
Go back
big
to
year.
what we talked about in a couple other videos, that Microsoft, what was it, a couple years ago or beginning of 2021, way back when, anyway, they made all these promises and just launched all these trailers for all these games. Like, oh my word, it's
Fable,
coming.
Everwild,
These games
Perfect
are
Dark,
happening.
like,
Contraband.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we're so excited. Xbox finally has games. Avowed. All of them now, just like dead in the water,
Yeah.
gone, MIA. We have no idea what's happening. The only one that had an update semi-recently was the last Game Awards. Obviously, there's Starfield and Redfall. That's what they have so far for 2023. But at the Game Awards last year, they released that extended gameplay of Hellblade 2. It was announced when the Series X was announced, which makes everybody think, oh, it's coming out with the console, because they also said we're going to have the best launch lineup ever. Apparently that means no games. Avowed, nobody's heard anything about that.
Yeah.
And Obsidian released another title since then, and they're working on, they finally finished Grounded, and they're working on Outer Worlds 2, and we've heard nothing about Avowed.
Yeah.
So we don't know if it's still going to happen. They released, when they showed it off, they gave people false hope for that too, because they showed what was assumed to be a short gameplay of it, but apparently no, that wasn't even gameplay, that was computer generated, and they're nowhere near done on this game. I don't know what's going on with Hellblade 2, because there was gameplay on that, and we've heard nothing. Everybody thought that we were going to see a bunch of these games at the Game Awards.
And that was the perfect way for Xbox to end the year of 2022. Absolute no-shows at the Game Awards this year.
Nothing.
I mean, Sony and Nintendo both had some presentations, games coming out soon. Microsoft, nothing. They didn't even show up. And there's no Hellblade.
Yeah, no Hellblade. Everwild is pretty much dead. That game has started over probably multiple times now.
Sounds like Fable's dead as well.
Fable is nearly dead. There's so much going on with internals on that. They're arguing amongst themselves on what engine to use, because they promised, oh, it's going to be on the Forza Horizon 5 engine, which is beautiful. Yeah. But they're like, oh, wait, this engine isn't designed for an open world RPG. It's designed for cars.
And for, the smart people out there, if they haven't decided what engine they want to use, they haven't started the game. So what was the point of showing a trailer for Fable if they haven't even started it?
Yeah.
So that's just what Xbox is been doing the last couple of years, is just promising these games, and then they just don't show up, and they just hope people forget about them.
They hired an outside studio to help them with Perfect Dark. Crystal Dynamics is helping with Perfect Dark, and apparently that's actually coming along now. That's probably, everybody thought that was going to be the last one to come out. That's probably going to be the first one to come out.
So we'll see. Yeah, and all that what Microsoft has been doing is just giving studios extra money to have a timed exclusive. That's literally been their plan like last 2 years, is just timed exclusive games that eventually will come out to the PlayStation or a PC. But usually they're on PC at the same time, which is just insane to me. It doesn't seem like a profitable solution, because those people who have maybe a PlayStation aren't going to be like, oh, I'm going to buy an Xbox to buy a timed exclusive that is eventually going to come to the console I own. It's not going to happen.
No.
So,
and that's proof, because people on Xbox that knew Deathloop and Sifu and Ghostwire Tokyo were going to come to Xbox, nobody switched from Xbox to buy a PlayStation and play those games. Timed exclusives, I mean, they're fun for the people that have the console, but nobody switches consoles hardly ever to get those games. I don't know anybody that switched to PlayStation because they wanted Deathloop.
Well, and not for Deathloop. So or Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah. Honestly, Ghostwire ended up being a better game, in my opinion.
So, I mean, I think we can kind of keep going on and on and on. I'm sure you guys are fuming at the moment. But I think it all just kind of comes down to Phil Spencer needs to step down.
He's a wonderful hype guy, but what has he actually done?
Yeah, he can keep, obviously, like Mitch just said, he's a good hype guy. He can keep a role in Xbox. He just can't be the president anymore. Like,
games aren't coming out. He obviously can't get developers to release titles.
Yes.
They can't keep them on task. Xbox is losing money on each console sold. They're losing $100+ on each console sold. Probably more on the Series S now that it's been discounted. Mm-hmm. And obviously that's bad.
And people are canceling their Game Pass subscriptions because
Game Pass
there's
is
no
going
game
down.
So
it's not nearly as profitable as they expected it to be. Yes, it is apparently making money,
but it's slowing down.
It's less than 15% of Xbox's revenue, which honestly is probably not much at this point.
Yeah,
because they've spent so much money and haven't got it back. And obviously you guys are going to be like, you guys are morons. You don't know how economic you do it. Whatever. No, this is just facts and looking at things how they are and not believing what Phil Spencer says.
Yeah.
Because he's a hype guy. He wants people to feel good about Xbox. When in reality, Xbox is suffocating. They are having so many problems internally,
Yeah.
and they can't get games to come out. Game Pass is not doing what they wanted it to, and their so-called most powerful console is not doing better than the PlayStation 5, with the most recent game being the Callisto Protocol performs better on the PlayStation 5. If you're in quality mode, there's no ray tracing on the Xbox, whereas the PlayStation does. And then games like Evil West, the Series S performs worse than the Xbox One X.
A previous generation console is outperforming a quote-unquote next-gen console.
So, Xbox is doing absolutely everything wrong right now. I can't think of a single thing they've done right. I've got... well, let's see. Like I said, I have all the systems. I had the opportunity to play so many things on Xbox. I did play some things on Xbox. I played Plague Tale Requiem. Loved the game. We literally, just before this, looked into my hours on what I put into each game. And combined, just doing rough math here, I was probably around 60 hours total on my Xbox. I had 578 on my PlayStation, and my Nintendo is at somewhere around 380.
Yeah.
When I choose,
And those were
Nintendo-
in those games that he played on Xbox, he could have played actually anywhere else.
I could have if I wanted to. Yeah, they weren't exclusive. I just had Game Pass and they were on there,
Yeah.
so I chose that because I was already paying for it. But after going through the whole year and realizing how underwhelmed I was with Xbox, I'm like, I think I actually wasted money on Game Pass. Because let's see, just doing math right now. I played Plague Tale Requiem. That's $50. So Game Pass, I paid $180 for the year.
Yeah.
$50 Plague Tale. Ninja Turtles, it's $20.
Nobody saves the world.
Nobody Saves the World, that's $20, I think. Maybe 30. We'll say 25.
Yeah.
So what am I at now? $95. I will play High on Life eventually when I'm done with all my other games. I
So
don't know
you're
how
looking at 140?
But I think that's
150?
Game Pass alone by itself now, so I guess that was my only option to play that. But yeah, let's just add a few that I played on there. At the most, I'm probably at $150. I wasted $30 on Game Pass because I also didn't play anything online. I'm not a big online player, so that extra, because I pay for Ultimate, so I can play on PC and Xbox, so I get the Xbox Live with it. Didn't use that because I didn't play anything online.
There you go.
So,
And also, Xbox is third place for Call of Duty players. So there's that. Too.
yeah,
throw that in
the
there.
game they're trying to buy, less people play that than any other console or PC. People play, obviously Switch doesn't have it, that's not an option, but I guarantee you if it was on Switch,
They would.
more people would play it on the Switch.
So it's just absolutely crazy that Microsoft is projecting this image of what they think they are versus like what they actually are.
And then them going out and saying that, oh, Sony's, trying to grow by making us smaller. That's the exact thing that Xbox is trying to do right now
By
by
trying to-
buying other companies.
Yeah.
And if you look at Xbox's history, they've never done their own original thing. When the Xbox first launched, they had Halo. That was their big title. Guess what? They didn't own it at that time.
Made
They
it
didn't
Bungie.
come up with it. They didn't own that right. They ended up buying Halo from Bungie because Bungie didn't want to be a part of Xbox anymore. They went and did their own thing. It turned out to be pretty decent with Destiny. Same thing with Gears of War. Gears of War, they had an agreement with Epic Games to release it on there. Then they just bought it from Epic Games. You see what's happened with these franchises when they are no longer with the publisher that came out with them? They've done horrible. They're not good
Yeah,
anymore.
343 is not doing a good job.
343 is
and-
trash. The Coalition has
yeah.
done horribly. Gears 5 was a step up from Gears 4, but compared to 1, 2, and 3, awful.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to do the same thing with Bethesda and Activision, and they're just buying these games. And we're not saying that doesn't happen. Obviously, Sony does it too. But when Sony buys studios, they're buying smaller independent studios and helping them develop these games. Whereas if Sony didn't have their money involved, the game most likely wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
One would be Returnal to look at. Would have happened. Heck, a game now that is owned by Xbox being Deathloop. The Arcane even came out and said that game probably wouldn't have happened without the help of Sony, and because that was all in contract before they owned Bethesda. And I can see ones that make sense. Xbox buying Double Fine made sense. That was a small studio wasn't doing a lot. They were hemorrhaging cash, and were trying to finish Psychonauts 2.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get it out there. Xbox bought them, gave them what they needed to do the other 15% or whatever to complete the game and release it. Yeah, I'm all for that, because the game wouldn't have existed, most likely, if that didn't happen. Buy smaller studios, help them grow.
Yeah.
But by buying these billion-dollar companies and getting games that would have come to all these consoles no
Yeah.
matter what,
And A, not getting anything out of it as of right now. B, you're literally taking it from other players, and at this point, you know, PlayStation is dominating the market with players. So yeah, it's just insane to me. And obviously, Nintendo's thrown in that too with the Bethesda mix. So I don't know what they decided to do, and they just showed that throwing money at this problem is not the solution.
yeah, but that's all Microsoft knows how to do. That's all they've known how to do as a company from day one.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs is well quoted on his distaste with Microsoft being completely unoriginal.
Yeah.
And they're showing it loud
Still.
and clear with Xbox.
You know, Steve Jobs is probably wherever he is, like, told you.
He's like, see what's happening? Yep. So, and I'm not anti-Microsoft. We all own PCs.
Yeah, I love my PC.
Windows is great. But Xbox has not been great recently. It's a wonderful little brick that's collecting dust for most of
And
the
also, their desktop app kind of sucks. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I'm done. Okay, but yeah, that's kind of our rundown. I'm sure if anyone's even here, you're probably just absolutely just fuming on the floor right now. But
Ready,
yeah,
go, comment,
Yeah.
tear us apart.
So, yeah.
Tell us everything you hate about it,
the
or
takeaways here.
agree with us, because
Yes.
we've had a ton of people on all our other videos commenting saying, yes, I own an Xbox. It's collected dust. I so regret it.
Mm-hmm.
Go through our other videos that we've had dogging on Xbox recently. There are so many more people, honestly, that
Go to
I think
Facebook
agree with us.
Marketplace and see what's for sale. It's Xboxes.
Lots of Xboxes.
So yeah, the takeaways here. They just haven't done a good job. They haven't lived up to their promises. They're lying to you. And Phil Spencer just needs to go. I think it's time for him to step down in his role, and they need to find someone else who is really going to take charge and control these studios better and actually get the products put out for the consumer. So there we go.
Now tell us what you think.
Yeah. If you agree with us, great. If you don't, let us know so we can have a nice, friendly dialogue there.
But if you do agree with us and you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button,
Boy.
share with your friends,
Oh.
and maybe we'll see you again
Yeah, who knows now.
here on
Super Platinum Achievement.
Bye, maybe forever.